nor did Carl, and there was others on the spot.
As I understand it, the three-star general automatically started, in fact, organizing things out there.
Correct.
We saw a lieutenant colonel out there who was a doctor. She was the first, and I asked her what she needed me to do, and she said, make an IV, and I told her I'm not a medic, and she stretched the IV and said, make it look just like this.
They were improvising.
So as I understand it, at about that moment, you saw the Secretary.
Yeah, there was a secondary explosion. There was some confusion, some screaming. Somebody yelled out that it's probably a fuel tank. I remember thinking that makes sense, and we went back to work, and it was probably, I would say, 15, 20 minutes or so after the explosion when we were triaging these people, and we had medevaced one lady away who was burned, and we just sort of made our way as these people came out. They would just be laid further down the line, and there was a point there about 15, 20 seconds where I wasn't engaged. Carl was holding an IV bag, and I looked up and there was the Secretary of Defense, and I remember thinking, good for you, this makes sense. And I stood up and just started briefing the Secretary of Defense as to the injuries that we had sustained in this area, describing some of the injuries, describing that one lady had been medevaced away, and some of the other injuries that we saw.
So we want to report now that the Dover, Delaware facility, which is designed to handle casualties, that type of thing, we've seen it so many times used when there have been overseas disasters. It has been activated. It will be receiving those who did not make it, but we've just heard the story, the heroic story of somebody who, in fact, was able to survive. Miles?
CNN's Bob Franken reporting live from the Pentagon.